Gears of War is one of Microsoft's flagship franchises, but what moments throughout the series have stuck with you the most? What moments have just made you think, WTF? That's what we're going over today on Chaos Gaming. Welcome to the page. Do me a favor, make sure you're following with those notifications on, and if you have a Gears buddy that you used to grind the game with, share this video with him. There are some major spoilers ahead, okay, for the entire franchise, so I'm giving you the warning right now. Let's get into some WTF moments in Gears. The first one, inside the worm in Gears 2. Come on. If there was one sequence everybody remembers from Gears 2, it's inside the Rift Worm. Throughout the story, you hear about a giant locust creature that's been zipping around beneath the surface, sinking entire cities in the process. Now, eventually, you come to face with it and you get swallowed in the process. At that point, it becomes about finding a way to kill the worm from the inside before you get digested. The entire worm sequence is cool, but it's also full of WTF moments. I mean, you're running around inside a city-sinking worm. Obviously, it's going to be pretty memorable. Next up is the Brumack fight in Gears 2. Now, Gears of War is known for having intense boss fights with giant monsters, but a few things came close to the very end of Gears 2. You're deep in the heart of enemy territory, and all of a sudden, you find a Brumack. Now, you don't have to fight it yet. Instead, you get on top and start riding it. You pilot the Brumack into battle. It's one of the coolest parts of any third-person shooter ever. Once you get to the objective and board the helicopter, the Brumack mutates, and now you have to fight it. The entire ending sequence of Gears 2 is insane. I think it's one of the best final bosses of any game in the series. Next up is Carmens Death in Gears 1. Spoiler alert. Kim was your leader in the first act of the Gears 1 campaign. However, he dies about halfway through the game, and the way he goes out, it's pretty shocking. After you escape the bird and get shot down, Delta Squad is they're stuck in a massive firefight, and you try to get cover. Kim is out in the open, fighting off tons of locusts, all by himself. Then out of the shadows comes General Rom, who walks over to Kim, disarms him with his bare hands, and impales him. Rom was the main villain in Gears 1, and this was the first time he was shown on screen. Talk about introducing a villain. Next up, Carmen's Death in Gears 1. Now, it's not heroic or dignified like Kim's death. Carmine definitely had a WTF death in the original Gears. After a massive firefight, Carmine is checking his gear and realizes his rifle is jammed. He walks over to show it to you, all of a sudden, his head gets blown off by a sniper. Just like that. A main member of your party, poof, gone. This kicked off the tradition of the Carmine brothers getting killed off in every new Gears game, but the original Carmine Death, well, it was shocking. You know what else was shocking? The Berserker in Gears 1. Now, the first time you fight this thing, it's tense. I mean, I still remember when I was going through Gears 1 for the first time, I came face to face with the first Berserker, and it honestly turned into a horror game. The Berserker is a blind behemoth that reacts to sound and can kill you instantly if he gets close enough. So in order to kill it, you have to get it to follow you outside the building, and you have to make sure it doesn't rip you apart in the process. The first Berserker fight is one of the most memorable moments in the entire Gears franchise, and many fans still remember it as one of the best boss fights ever. Now we've reached the number 5 WTF moment. Kate is Meeras' granddaughter in Gears 4. Spoiler alert if you're that far behind. Gears 4 is a pretty hit-or-miss campaign, as many will agree the gameplay was good, but the story was mediocre. At the very end, there's a massive reveal. It turns out Kate, one of your party members, is the granddaughter of Meeras, the Queen of the Locust who died in Gears 3. This sets off a ton of fan theories on how the heck this happened. How did Meeras have children? How many of them are there? How does this connect Kate to the Locust? We can argue about how much these questions were answered in Gears 5, but this reveal was definitely an exciting cliffhanger for the game to end on. Let's keep with the queens. Queen Reyna in Gears 5. Now, following the reveal that Kate is Meeras' granddaughter, Gears fans were excited to see how this would develop in Gears 5. Throughout the campaign, Kate is tempted by the Locust. They want her to become their new queen. She also resists, but at the near end of the campaign, the new Locust queen is revealed, and it's not pretty. It's Reyna, Kate's mom, and Meeras' daughter. Now, the family lineage of the Locust got a little weird and confusing, but honestly, I thought it was pretty cool. It's really getting the new characters involved with the story. The reveal of Queen Reyna in Gears 5 was a huge one, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be coming up a lot in Gears 6, assuming we ever get it. Here's one for you. Maria's death in Gears 2. A WTF moment for sure, but also very sad. The central part of the story in Gears 2 is trying to hunt down Maria, Dom's wife. She was taken by the Locust when fighting started, and while you get bits and pieces of information on her, you never really get to see her in person. Then, about 2/3 of the way through the game, Dom and Marcus come across a Locust prison camp, so they start searching through all the containment pods, and guess what? They find Maria, who's been tortured relentlessly for years and doesn't even recognize Dom. Dom realizes He has to put his wife out of his misery. One of the hardest things you could ever imagine. This entire sequence is one of the most heartbreaking in any video game, and it leaves Dom a changed man. Going into this, Dom was the optimistic and energetic fighter, but after Maria's death, well, he was out for blood. Let's stick with Dom at number 2. His death in Gears 5. Now, Dom is an entirely different character in Gears 3. He's still a great fighter. He's got energy, but there's a passion that's lost. He doesn't have the same hope that he once did. Throughout the campaign, there's little moments in the dialogue where we get a glimpse of how much Maria's death broke him, and then we get to the part that everybody remembers, Dom's death. During a massive firefight, Dom takes an oil truck and drives it into a horde of enemies, triggering a giant explosion that kills him, but saves his friends. Dom was a fan favorite character, and people still love him, so seeing him go out like this after suffering so much, it was kind of bittersweet. It was a hero sacrifice indeed, but it definitely hit us in the gut when we saw it for the first time. And at number 1 today, are you ready? Carmine Lives in Gears 3. Now, it's a tradition in Gears of War that every new campaign will have a new Carmine brother as part of your squad, and they will always die in one way or another. I know it's a pretty morbid transition, right? However, during the development of Gears 3, Epic Games actually held a fan polling to see if the new Carmine should live or die. Epic Games, they put it out there. Then, when we were playing through the campaign for the first time, we saw the fruit of our labor. He lived! Not only does Carmine live, he's actually a total bad A. He really is. Gears 3 Carmine is a beast of a human being, and he has tons of close calls throughout the story where Epic likes to make you think that he's about to go down, but at the end, he's A-okay. Now, to this day, this Carmine is the only one who survived, although there is an alternate ending in Gears 3 where he actually dies in the dumbest way possible, but we'll talk about that in another story. Maybe we'll do a top 10 of the best alternate endings in video games. This elite super soldier, though, well, he was something. But that elite super soldier tries to take a toaster into the bathroom with him, and I'll let you do the math on what happens. That is not the way that a Carmine brother should ever go out. And there you have it. Gears of War, it'll go down as one of the best franchises ever. Maybe you don't like it as much as you did. Maybe you think they lost their way. We'll have to see what Gears 6 actually brings to the table. But these are some WTF moments that we all remember and we all experienced. And when we saw them, we were like, wow, that actually just happened. And that's what Gears storytelling is good at. I hope you guys have a great day. Drop a like if you did, and I'll see you soon.